To help you out, I have listed some of the more common pre-bedtime activities. Let's investigate them together. Latest 2 hours before bedtime, consider intense physical activities and work. This is to ensure enough time for your body to calm down. Additional tip is the timing of the hot shower. Everyone loves a hot water treatment for its relaxing effects. For a good night's sleep, you should consider two more factors. First is the temperature. Remember a few slides back when we spoke about it? The body needs to cool down for efficient sleep. So after you take a hot shower, it takes some time for the heat to dissipate from your body. And the second factor is the activating effects of water on a human body. A natural reflexive response, well, even survival instinct, is that a touch of water activates us. And based on these two premises, the bath or the shower is recommended to be completed quite early before bedtime. Again, many factors play a role here, but if you finish your shower 1 to 2 hours before going to sleep, you should be okay. If you really want to optimize it, you could even experiment with the timing. Next recommendation is that 1 hour before bedtime, consider finishing minor physical activities, social activities, and usage of electronics. Note that these are general instructions. If, when you are lying in bed, you notice that you are still completely activated on one or several dimensions we spoke earlier, if you remember, physical, mental, and emotional level, you should first investigate if you have some lifestyle component set too late in your daily schedule, and then just adapt your itinerary. Keep in mind that this is the easiest and fastest way to achieve very tangible, very noticeable results in the terms of sleep and the key performance indicators that we're pursuing in this course. One more general lifestyle tip here. If you notice that you are ruminating about unfinished open to-dos in the evenings, then always try to complete something before proceeding to the next topic or to the next item on your agenda. This is because the completion of a minor task will give you a sense of accomplishment, which is a positive sensation and has higher chances of leaving a calming effect on you. On the other hand, having an open point usually induces mental activation, often even stress due to potential sensations of non-completion, fear of forgetting it, and so on. Sometimes it may even lead to feelings of being overwhelmed. However, don't worry. I will introduce an entire collection of tactics to handle mental ruminations in the next part of the course. Well now, you will say, come on, Alash, you pretty much said that I cannot do anything. What can I do after all? Yes, you're completely correct. That is a valid and a very important question. Because if we do not know what to do, we are automatically bound to revert to a default behavior, which, if in the case of if we're having sleep problems, is most likely also sleep blocking or sleep hindering. The answer to your question is, well, pretty much anything that relaxes you or leaves you in a positive or a neutral state. Good examples are listening to music, praying if you're spiritual, spending time with your family, completing relaxing evening routines, and preparing for the next day or for the bedtime. Two additional options are reading light materials and doing mental exercises. But consider these last two only if they do not activate you mentally or emotionally. We've gone nitty-gritty with the timing of activities, and to wrap up what we want to achieve, I would just like to give you a strategic overview of what exactly we are doing at this stage of this course. With all of the proposed changes in the evening routine, we want to ensure that you are undergoing a progressive reduction of arousal. We want to set it up in a manner for your activation levels to keep dropping the closer you are towards the bedtime. A few more tips before you proceed to making changes in your daily schedule. First, do not seek to cancel your activities as you most likely have them in your life for a reason. What you should do is to only shift the more arousing activities to earlier time in a day. If this option doesn't work, could you replace the activity with an alternative that wouldn't hamper your ability to sleep? Once you decide what activities to shift or to cancel, write what you will replace them with in the slot next to them. Do not leave it empty. Due to the vacuum in your schedule, you may replace it in a spur of a moment with some alternative activity that could as well negatively impact your sleep. Changing your late afternoon program is hard, as you believe that your current routine is your free time and it's yours to pick what you will do. That's true. Or it doesn't depend even solely on you, but on the community you're part of, your partner, your family, and so on. So changing it in a short term could prove quite difficult. In such cases, I recommend conducting an experiment. A test. Select a few days in a week when you will stick with this newly schedule and give it a try. See how your sleep changes compared to the normal days when your evening routine remains unchanged. Once you see the results, think what brings more value to your life and how you can restructure your itinerary to make it work. I had a trainee who was very reluctant and saw no use in this exercise. His daily schedule barely allowed him any changes. But after conducting this small experiment for a few days in his life, his sleep results improved so significantly that he solved majority of his problems with insomnia that he never doubted this seemingly simplistic process ever again. He also found a way to not compromising on his life's joys, all while having no sleep problems. Now that you understand the big picture, know the areas to cover, and are even aware of additional tips, we can return to the action point. Finish the step by writing down your planned improvements in the third column. Decide also when you will implement them. Then observe the effect these changes bring to your ability to fall asleep. Complete this now, and we'll see each other in the next lesson.